Welcome back to another episode of the Even Your Dynasty show. Today's episode, we're going to do another week of the minor league update. I appreciate everybody's patience this last week. You know what, with Mother's Day, and I hope all the moms out there had a great Mother's Day. With Mother's Day this weekend, we decided to not put out any videos. It's my wife's first Mother's Day, so we wanted to make sure it was extra special for her. And hopefully everybody got to spend time with a lot of all their moms out there. But we're gonna have lots of content this week. Lots getting posted to my channel. I'm actually gonna skip over the Red series for right now. I do have a lot of thoughts on that. I have a lot of thoughts on the kids plan. I'm gonna be posting a lot of that tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon. That is. So we're gonna go ahead and just kick off the minor league update. Unfortunately, the clubs had a lot of poor play overall, but there was some, there were some standout performers amongst their prospects, but a lot of rough play. But some good things with guys getting called up to the majors, and we did have a promotion this week. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with the River Cats. They went 1-5 at Salt Lake City. The Salt Lake City Bees are the Angels affiliate, and they flat out hit the entire series. Lot of rough outings going over there. But we'll start. They're now 22-17 on the season. Starting off with number one prospect Marco Luciano, 5 for 22 with 6 walks and 7 strikeouts. Continues to have a lot of at bats that don't result with the ball going into play or being put in play. He's still struggling to just, he gets count leverage, doesn't punish pitches. He's very passive at the plate, still struggling a ton defensively at short. I question what the Giants really are doing with Marco Luciano because, frankly, it's pretty clear that he's not a shortstop at this point. And at some point, either move him to first, move him to left field, move him somewhere where he has a chance at sticking and being able to try and contribute in the not as distant future. But realistically, you're looking at probably a guy that's going to get almost the whole season, if not the whole season, in AAA. He has many things he can work on, so it's not a bad thing. I want to see him in the majors just as much as everyone else, but the situation they're currently in, I understand him getting more time down there. Number 2 prospect Carson Whisenhunt. He had a string of really good starts. This was not one of them. 2.1, 2 1/3 innings, 6 earned runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, through 56 pitches, 33 for strikes. Just couldn't put guys away, and the pitch count ballooned early, and they just got him out of there. I mean, like I said, the Bees absolutely torched the Giants or the River Cats in this series. Number 11 prospect Landon Roop. They are starting to stretch him out more as a starter. He was actually one of the few bright spots for the River Cats this week. 4 innings pitched, no earned runs, 1 hit, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Was getting a lot of swing and miss. Curveball is still filthy from that guy. You would love to see more swing and miss from other pitches, but he is getting, he's getting some, especially with the curveball, which is definitely his best pitch. So keep an eye out for him. He's a guy that I still think he's going to end up being one of their better starters in a year or two. I do. It's going to probably take him a few years to stretch out and develop. He hasn't stretched out a ton at the minor league level. Last season, he only threw like 30 something innings because he had a back injury, cut the season short. So let's kind of let him, see how his season goes and see how he stretches out as the year goes. But early returns have been really solid. Number 17 prospect Carson Seymour. 2 innings pitched. Now, misleading stat line. He gave up 6 runs. Only 1 was earned. 3 hits, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. Another guy. He was struggling to find the zone. He threw 58 pitches, only 29 for strikes, and he just couldn't get through the innings. And it was the second inning that it really ballooned on him. So similar to Whisenhunt, they got him out of there after the damage had been done pretty much. But uh, he just all season he's been really struggling to find the zone. And I mean, AAA is harder to throw a lot of strikes with the automated balls and strikes, the challenge systems, everything. It's definitely more favorable to hitters. So we'll see kind of how it goes as he develops, but it's been a rough season so far. RJ Dabovich, their number 21 prospect, did not play again. Still not sure what his injury is, or wasn't a lot of information there. We did get some injury news on other guys, so I'll get to those. But that's one that I just cannot seem to find what's going on. But he did not pitch again this week. Number 22 prospect, Kaiwei Tang, pitched in 2 games, 5 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, 6 hits, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. He has a 14 and a quarter ERA in AAA right now, which is somehow worse than what he did in the majors, where he had a 9.82 ERA in his limited stint. I mean, this guy is getting lit up every outing. He has not pitched a single outing this year where he did not give up multiple runs. So he's got to figure something out, and he's got to figure it out quick, because I mean, you don't get to throw like that and keep and not be a DFA candidate for like an extended period. So there's a lot of guys that are going to come off the 60-day IL in the coming months. He is a name to keep an eye on, because either I could see him getting traded for scraps, him and a guy like David VR. It's unfortunate, because he did a lot of good things last season and looked like he was going to be a quality arm that they could try and rely on, maybe in a bulk role this year, and it has just not materialized at all. So, Casey Schmidt. Now we're going to go through a couple guys that all got called up to the Giants towards the end of the week last week. Casey Schmidt, Brett Wisely, and Luis Matos all got called up. Luis Matos, who just a little bit ago, I have the game on while we're doing this, just a little bit ago hit a 3-run home run off of Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So go get him. Absolutely pimped that thing. Love to see it. Energized all the veterans. It was really nice to see. So Casey Schmidt, 3 for 11, a double, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The 3 walks is honestly the most impressive thing. Unfortunately, he did. Unfortunately, he has struggled pretty heavily in San Francisco since he has been up, but he did have a walk-off a few days ago. Brett Wisely is next on that list of guys that got called up. 4 for 19, a walk, 4 strikeouts. Probably one of his worst weeks of the season so far, but he has been pretty solid in a lot of aspects. You understand kind of why the Giants like him. I don't know if he could turn in, if he'll end up turning into a really good pro or not. He has shown a lot of really good things. He doesn't strike out a ton. He's drawing a ton of walks. He's just getting on base. He's hitting for average. He's hitting for some pop. He's got quite a few extra base hits. He hit a ball like off the facing of the second deck in Milwaukee last season. That was just a huge home run. He also pumped one out the straightaway center field against the Brewers in Oracle Park, which was also impressive. So, there's a lot of good things that he does. So I can see why they like him. We'll see if he ends up being a good player or not. He's versatile. He's got nice speed. He's got really good defense, especially at second base. So I do like him coming up. We'll see what he does. Don't have high expectations. It was very clear last season when he came up, he was definitely not ready. So we'll see, if he does a little better this time around. And then lastly, Luis Matos. He has been playing better in recent weeks. I think it was last week I brought up kind of some of the tough luck he's had. This week, 5 for 20. He did hit a home run, a double, a walk, and 1 strikeout. We'll see. We'll see how he does in the majors. He hit a home run already off Yamamoto. We'll see how he does now that he's up. Maybe he's got a little extra motivation. I know he probably felt like he should have been up on the big league club to start the season. The play at AAA hasn't, kind of backed that up, unfortunately, for him this season. But, up in the majors, new life. Maybe he can help spark the team. Him alongside Ramos can help spark the team a little bit. So we'll kind of just see what happens there. The last guy on the list was Juan Sanchez. He's been struggling his last few outings. I think he's actually given up runs in 3 straight outings now. Two games he came into, 2 innings pitched total, 3 earned runs, 2 hits. 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. So his, he's had that amazing start. He's starting to kind of trend the other way a little bit. Hopefully, he can right the ship and get going. Um, Last, we did get an update on Wade Meckler. He is at least a few weeks away. He suffered a wrist injury right before the season started. I think he actually got hit with a pitch, but he is still not swinging or playing or anything yet. So we'll kind of see how that develops. But unfortunate missed opportunity for Wade Meckler, who very well could have been up with the big league club right now with all of the injuries that they've suffered in the last few weeks. So kind of a bummer for him, but hopefully he can get healthy, get right, and get playing here soon. Then we're going to move on to the Richmond Flying Squirrels. They had an atrocious week, 0-6 at Erie, 12-21 on the season. Now, there were some bright spots. Hayden Birdsong is one. 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 3 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Through 84 pitches, 55 for strikes. He is a guy that can attack you in many different ways. And in the outing that he just had, it was the curveball that was kind of his big pitch for the day. I've said a lot. He has 3+ pitches. Now he's really good with the fastball and curveball, both command wise and like how good of a pitch they are in general. The splitter, I still think has the potential to be his best pitch, but he doesn't showcase it as much because it's not one that he has as good a command as the curveball and the fastball. If he does get the command with that, especially when he locates it down in the zone, the thing is almost unhittable. It's one of those splitters that's going to get guys swinging at a ball that's bouncing in front of home plate. So, especially when he backs it up by throwing 98 with his fastball. So, guy to keep an eye on. I still say he's going to end up on the top 100 lists by the end of this season. I do believe that he is really good. Their number 8 prospect, Reggie Crawford. He entered into 2 games, the 2 different, outcomes here. One of the games he did pitch 1 2/3 innings, scoreless. The other one he went 1 inning, 3 earned runs, a couple hits, a couple walks. So kind of ugly. Did strike out 3 guys, but you get some good and bad with Reggie Crawford. But he did get promoted. He is the Giants' promotion. He got moved up to AAA Sacramento, which I do think is good for him. If you just look at his numbers in AA right now, he had like a 4.6 ERA. Now, granted, he had a 2 ERA before this last outing where he gave up 3 earned runs. It's early in the season. That one outing just ballooned his ERA up. I like the aggression from the Giants making this move for him. And the reason I say that is it was very clear in AA that he can just throw it by people. And I think putting him in Sacramento, where he's going to have to learn to pitch a little more because tighter zones, better hitters, more pitcher friendly environments, like he's going to have to learn and develop more, like both his command, his secondary pitches, everything. Because now he's not going to probably be able to just go out there and throw 98 by guys all day long. So I think it's a good move overall for his growth. Number 13 prospect, Grant McCray, 2 for 20, double, walk, 8 strikeouts. Like I said, it's pretty ugly when you look at the Giants AA club here. Nobody had a good week. Vaughn Brown did not play this week. He hasn't played in about a week and a half. Again, I don't know what the injury is for him. If I hear anything, I'll bring it up on my next week's minor league video. Number 19 prospect, Victor Barracoto, 4 for 22, a double, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Number 23 prospect, Adrian Sugiste, 1 for 18, a triple and 3 strikeouts. Number 26 prospect, Jairo Pomares, 2 for 12 with a home run, his first home run in AA, 4 strikeouts. He just came in, this is kind of his spring training. So I'm giving him a little bit of leeway compared to some of these other guys. Number 30 prospect who's just got added to their top prospects list, Carson Ragsdale, 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Through 78 pitches, 48 for strikes. He is actually having a pretty solid year so far in AA. about a 3.52 ERA. So he's doing a good job down there. And then Hunter Bishop, 4 for 18, a double, a walk, 9 Ks, and a stolen base. Strikeouts didn't look too bad till he got the sombrero in his last game of the week. But he had a good start to the week, and it just kind of fell apart. But like I said, the whole Double A team didn't have a good week. It felt like every day I looked down and they had 2 or 3 hits. So it was a rough week for that entire squad there. Moving over to the Eugene Emeralds, Giants High A club, who are currently sitting at first place in the Northwest League. They went, I say that, but they went 1-5 versus Tri-Cities. They are 19-13 on the season. Their number 18 prospect, Diego Velasquez, 5 for 18, a home run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Velasquez had another nice week. He's had a lot of really nice weeks. So, hopefully he keeps it up. He's only 20 years old down there in High A. I could see him getting moved up to Double A at some point this season if he keeps hitting the way he is. Number 24 prospect, O'Neill Perez, had a little bit of a tough week. 1 for 13, a double, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a stolen base. And, for him, you have Blake Snell actually paid him a pretty big compliment. I haven't felt like he's really a catcher. I feel like he needs to move eventually. And Blake Snell told him, he's like, you're a big league catcher. So, maybe we'll have to reevaluate that a little bit. Elliot Ramos just hit a go-ahead single. Let the kids play. Gotta love it. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes with Perez. Quinn McDaniel, 5 for 18, home run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and a stolen base. I've been saying he needs to get moved up to Double A. He's 22 now, I believe, or 21, going to be 22 soon. I think it's time. He's very clearly too good for High A. Let's start challenging some of these guys a little more. So I'd like to see him get moved up. He's been a fast riser. Kind of reminds you a little bit of Wade Meckler last season. So hopefully they get him up here soon. Now moving over to the Little Giants, who had the best week of the minors at 3-3 versus Stockton. 16. They're 16-16 on the season. We won't talk about Blake Snell throwing 4 perfect innings down there because he's not really a prospect. Couple, the big guy, Bryce Eldridge, he had struggled early on, especially coming back from the hamstring strain. He, you could tell his timing was probably a bit off, but he's come back. He's playing really well in a big way. 9 for 23, 2 doubles, a walk, 4 strikeouts. His average went up like 80 points or 70 points last week. So good for you, Bryce. Keep it up. We want to see him just rake. I'd love to see him get up to High A, maybe even make a push for Double A this season. I think he's a guy that might be able to get to the big leagues pretty quick if he can stay healthy. Losing those few weeks kind of hurt him a little bit, but it's still a lot of ball this season. So he's got a long way to go. Hopefully he can earn that promotion here in the next month, because that'd be really awesome to see him kind of move through the system quickly. Number 9 prospect Maui Ahuna did not play again this week. Again, I don't, unfortunately, minor league injuries, it stinks because they're not good at reporting what they are. Number 10 prospect Joe Whitman, 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 10 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Just kind of got knocked around, but got through 5 innings. Good for him. Pitch count obviously ballooned quite a bit though. Number 25 prospect Cole Foster, he's cooled off a bit. 4 for 20, 2 doubles, a walk, 5 strikeouts. Number 28 prospect Jonah Cox, he is probably, of all the guys in the system, he is the most obvious that needs to be moved. He's like 23 years old and he is just destroying Single A. He has no business being at that level. But nevertheless, he went 10 for 22, 2 triples, a walk, 2 strikeouts, and a stolen base. So get him up. There were a little bit of updates on Walker Martin and Rainer Arias. Walker Martin is dealing with a hamstring strain. That's why he has not played yet. Rainer Arias is dealing with another wrist injury. It sounds like it's a sprained wrist this time, which is good. It's the same wrist that he injured last season that he actually broke. He was diving for a ball in extended spring training and, sprained it this time. But kind of unfortunate. Hopefully these guys get playing. They'll probably both start in the ACL league. Hopefully they get, I think Walker Martin especially probably will get moved up to San Jose relatively early, considering he's almost 20 years old. Um, but I do see Rainer Arias probably will spend the duration of the season in the ACL, and then maybe they'll move him up to San Jose because the season does end about a month before A ball ends. So he may get 15, 20 games up in A ball at the end of the year. I hope he forces the issue earlier, but when you start off the year hurt, it kind of makes that difficult. Like I said, we're gonna have a lot of content coming out this week. We're gonna be putting a lot of videos out. I'm gonna go way more into detail on my thoughts on the Giants and their young guys playing right now. There's a bunch of injuries to to the veterans. I have my thoughts. For those of you that follow me on Twitter, you guys have probably already seen a lot of those thoughts. Um, I'll be on the NorCal Sports Network late on Wednesday night as well, and we'll get Dan back on the show here on Thursday, talking some Giants baseball. Probably it's an off day, so it'll be a good day to talk about the Dodgers series. Hopefully, we'll have a lot of good things to talk about because last week it was frustrating. It was kind of turned into more of a vent session for us, which it's healthy sometimes to get it off your chest and get all the frustrations out. So trust me, we want exciting things to talk about here. Watching these kids play, that is exciting. Watching the Giants win with the kids, even more exciting. So we'll kind of see how that goes. As always, though, if you like this content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at EYD Show. Other than that, go Giants, let the kids play, and beat LA, most importantly. Have a good one, everyone.